Hi everyone, this is Gwen from Rustic Diva Design, and I'm here with part 2 of the tutorial for the Rustic Farm Mini Album. So in this video we are going to be making the staggered pockets for the inside front cover, and we're going to be making the gusset pocket for the inside back cover. And I'm also going to show you how to attach the pages of your album to the spine. So we are going to do this pocket right here. I'm just taking out all the elements that I have. So this is the pocket piece here. This piece, and this piece. So that's what we're going to be working on right now. So let me grab my supplies. Make sure I have everything in here so that you can see. Okay, so for the staggered pocket, you are going to need 3 pieces of solid cardstock, one that measures 6.5 by 5.5. That's the large pocket. For the medium pocket, you'll need a piece that's 4.5 by 4.5. And for the small pocket, you'll need a piece that's 3.5 by 2.5. So in our scoreboard, because these pockets are opening on the left-hand side of the cover, we're going to score at 1/2 inch on one side, on the right-hand side, and just at the bottom. So with your 5.5 inch side at the top of your scoreboard, you're going to score at 5, and then you're going to turn it and score at 1/2. For the medium pocket, it's 4.5 by 4.5, so score at 4, turn it and score at 1/2. And for the small pocket, we're going to score it at 3 and at 1/2. Okay, so then let's just construct the pockets here. So you have large, medium, and small. And so we're just going to, kind of like we do with any other pocket, just miter and miter. And we're also going to round the corners. So let's just get all that out of the way. You don't have to do that, but I did it in the album, so we're going to do it in the tutorial. So I'm just mitering the pocket and rounding the corner. There we are. So first we start with the large pocket. Let's just fold on our score lines. Oops. Okay, so there we have our large, and then the medium. Oh, and I have to tell you, I learned this staggered pocket method from Michelle Allen at A Creative Operation. I mentioned that in the walkthrough video. So thank you, Michelle, for that. If you watch my video, I appreciate your help. I reached out and asked a question on how to make things, and she answered with the tutorial link, and it was perfect. So I ended up using this in this book. Okay, so we have all of our corners punched and folds. So first, let's put these pockets together. So leave them folded up, and we are going to put the medium pocket on top of the large pocket first. So it's going to look like this. So I'm going to glue the bottom. See if my glue cooperates here. that out of here. We could miter this too. A little. We should have. Oh, there's glue on there. Let me try it. Let me try it. Look at that. Oh, it worked. So we'll do that with the other one. So just lining this up at the bottom. And again, I am using this thin paper, which you'll have nice, heavier scrapbook paper to work with. So that is on the bottom there, like so. And then, I know I always say decorate, but wait, it's coming. She shows you how to do it. Fold that up. Now before we get any farther, put your pattern, we're going to put our pattern paper on. This is not pattern paper, but I'm just using it as an example. So we're going to map this large pocket. So I'm going to punch this corner, round this corner. So you're going to do this with the pattern paper. And then all you have to do is tuck it in here like this. And look at it fits. So it's going to cover up that little lip from your other pocket. So just grab your paper, put some glue on like that, and make sure everything is straight. Of course, mine moved. And then on this side, just gluing it down this way. So that's your pattern paper. This is how you mat your pattern paper with this pocket style. So now the small pocket goes on top of the medium pocket like this. And remember, let's miter this just a little. So we get that out of there. And then glue this bottom down first. Just lining that up at the bottom and the sides. And then glue up this tab here. Oh, the dimensions for the pattern paper. So this piece of craft cardstock that I'm saying is pattern paper is 4 7/8 by 5 7/8. The one for the medium pocket, this piece is going to be 3 7/8 by 3 7/8. So I'm going to round this corner, tuck this in, and glue it. That side and on this side. And then there's no need to tuck anything for the small pocket. It's just matting it. So the mat for the small pocket is 2 7/8 by 1 7/8. So then it's going to go here. So we just round this corner. I'm just using the 1/4 inch side of my punch. And that just gets glued on top of the small pocket. So there you have your staggered pocket. So when you're putting it in your book, you are going to put your, show you here, put your pocket down first, okay? Because you have this, and don't forget, I forgot this miter, this edge here. Let's give that a little miter. So you're going to put your pocket in first, so glue the bottom. Okay, so it's gonna look like this. And then, do I have you in camera? Let me see. Okay. And then glue this side up. And then you'll have it glued down. And then whatever you're matting with on the inside front cover, tuck that in there just like we did with the pockets. And then you can glue it down just like so. Okay? If you have any questions, please let me know. So that is the staggered pocket. So then I just have little photo mats inside of mine and this little booklet, and everything just fits cute. Okay, so for the, now on the inside back cover, we are making this gusseted pocket like this. So I will get that for you here. And so the dimensions for the pocket, you need a piece of cardstock that's 3.5 by 9. And all we're doing is making some extra hinges, I guess. So we're going to score at with the 9 at the top, score at 1/2, 1, and 1.5, and then at 7.5, 8, and 8.5. Okay. Oh, and then don't forget to turn it because we need a bottom. We need to fold up the bottom, and then so turn it and just score at 1/2. So you have that bottom score line to fold it up. Okay. So before we get too far, we're going to miter, so we have that little angle here, and just go up to the corner of that score line and then just kind of go across like that. And then the same for this, up to that score line, and then just a little bit of an angle there like that. And then these, I just miter just a little bit here. Okay, so let's fold this up. And then we are going to fold this way. So first, and you're just gonna do like an accordion style fold. Forward, backward. And then the same for this side. Fold this all the way up. Fold this one back. And then this forward. So there's your extra hinge system for your pocket, okay? Then we're gonna glue this, and again, see, mine is a little bit off, but don't let that scare you. It worked perfectly with my really nice paper. This is just, you know, some thinner stuff that doesn't like to cooperate all the time. So we're gonna glue this bottom piece up here a little bit, and we're gonna glue it shut on both ends. And you can see it doesn't want to stick very well at the moment. Let me just get a towel here. So what Michelle recommends is just taking, if you have some clips, clip it and just leave it sit for just a minute so that that pocket stays closed. So let me show you in the book. Here's what I have in there while that's drying a little bit. So I have my double matted inside back cover, just a piece of solid cardstock, the brown artisan, and then a piece of the pattern paper. And I matted the whole back inside back cover with paper because I glued the pocket right on that onto the pattern paper. Okay, and again, I forgot my tape. I should have brought my tape, but I'm not gonna go get it. Okay, so I don't have a piece to show you. So all you do is you're gonna glue this on, glue here. Actually, first, what you can do is, I hope I'm gonna explain this so it makes sense. So I would take a piece of tape. I believe I did that in here, yes. Take a piece of tape, put the sticky side up underneath this lip, okay? Put the sticky side facing you so that it sticks to this lip for when you turn it over, it's gonna stick down onto your book, okay? So you're going to tape, and then you're gonna glue, glue, and glue, and then you're just gonna put this pocket down right on top of your pattern paper. If you have any questions, please let me know. I didn't make anything to show you on a piece of paper, which sorry that I didn't do that. But that is how you make the gusseted pocket. So you can see it has extra little hinges so that it expands out farther for you to put more stuff in there. So that's that. So then I just tuck these things back in here, and there are your pockets. So now let me show you how to put your pages in your book. So we have a 2 1/4 inch spine. So this is a 2 1/4 inch pretend spine that I have. And then I matted it. This would be with whatever you want to mat it with. And we're going to put 4 pages in here. It's called the L method, or L hinge, or the waterfall hinge, or whatever it's called. So we have our pages that we completed in the first tutorial, and we're going to start with page 1. Okay, so here's our hinge, this 1/2 inch section, and then this little gusset here. We're only gluing the 1/2 inch down. So I'm going to go in probably about from the edge of the craft cardstock that you can see. I'm going to go in about 1/4 inch, maybe just a little bit more. So I'm going to mark this here. Actually, I know where my mark is. Okay, about right here. And you can measure and do that. So to put your pages on your spine, now remember, you're going to have a nice cover that's not going to move around on you when you do this. There's no mitering of the hinge, so just add your glue to your hinge section of your page. This is page 1. And then using your mark as a guide, and then top to bottom, you're just going to attach this page. And I have mine up a little high. So like that, about like that. And then you'll also have your cover as a guide so that you can make sure everything is straight, which this looks pretty good. And then once your first page is on, just glue it down. See, now this is going to move because it's not attached to anything. Okay, so page 2 is, let's make sure this is page 2. The page 2 has the 2 flaps with the angles on it. So we're going to take this 1/2 inch hinge and we're going to glue it right next to the first page that we just glued down. So you're just lining this up. I'm sorry if I get my head in the way. I want to make sure you can see and I can see. So using that first page as your guide, you're going to just line these up. And again, your cover will be your guide as well, so that you make sure everything is straight. And then just tack that down. Page 3 is the belly band page with the 2 flaps and the tag. So we'll just, again, glue on the 1/2 inch piece, that's your hinge. Line it up with, oops, I had that folded wrong. I couldn't see that. It's got to fold, and I'm getting glue on me. Line it up. And then glue it down. Now the last page, page 4, gets glued down just a little bit different. So instead of gluing this piece right next to this piece, because you can see, you would say, oh, there's not enough room, but there is, because this hinge is going to go and fold the opposite way, okay? So it's going to fold up instead of back, forward instead of back. So we're going to glue it on this side. And then you're going to just set this on top of this hinge piece here, like this, leaving yourself, you know, a little room in between the hinge there, so it's not crowding. So that goes on top of that hinge on page 3, like that. Okay, and there, your pages are glued in your book, and so you can see, you have, you know, a little bit of your pattern paper showing on each side of your spine. And then all of your pages are glued in. Just make sure, you know, you're putting the right page in the right spot and that it's the right way, right direction. And that's how you glue in your pages. Okay, so we did the staggered pocket, we did the gusset pocket, and we glued our pages to our spine. And that's it for the part 2 tutorial for the Rustic Farm Mini Album. If you have any questions, like I said, please let me know in the comments. I'll try to do my best to, I don't always get notified when I get comments. I try to keep an eye on it when I first post something, in case someone asks me, so I can get to it. But leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know if you've made the album. I would love to see any of your projects. Again, the Rustic Farm digital paper bundle is available in my Etsy shop. It is a digital download, which means no physical product will be mailed to you. It's just you print at home. That's what a digital download is. So if you have any questions, please let me know. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I would love it if you would do that. And don't forget about our Rustic Diva Design Mini Albums and Tutorials Facebook group, where you can share projects, ask questions, all that kind of stuff in there. So answer the questions to be approved to the group, and we'd love to have you there. So, and as always, thank you for watching.